no doubt in my mind that we've just experienced one of the most boring events in history. Well, at least for the last 71 years or whatever it might be. Because the coronation is an absolute waste of time, waste of money, waste of resources, and waste of good media time where Sky News could be talking about something important, such as who's woke these days. But it wasn't. It was occupied by the coronation of King Charles. And I just want to say at the outset that I resent any inference whatsoever that this man governs me or us as a country. Because I've been reflecting on what it is that we think that the British people have done, or the British government, or the Crown, or whatever you'd like to refer to them as, the bullshit autocracy. What have they done for us? Nothing. Firstly, when it comes to Australia, they decided that they were going to invade this country, in which they openly declared that there weren't any people living here, ignoring completely the rights of Indigenous people. And then they sent us what they viewed as their worst people. They sent to this country. We were a dumping ground for those people that committed great sins, such as stealing bread because they were hungry, and doing extremely minor, what we'd say, minor offences today that were in contravention of their current laws. So they sent those people here, and they expected them to be able to produce whatever it was that they thought this country, this desolate, large island, could produce for them. In the process, they decided that the country that was inhabited by black people needed to be white. So in order for that to happen, they decided that all black people, all the Indigenous people, were to be assimilated into the white culture. So the idea was to, even up until Shifley's time, was to, that is after the Constitution, after 1901, the purpose of this land, according to the British Crown, was to eradicate anything that resembled the Indigenous people. Now, interestingly enough, that's the way it's been for the last 121 years. So nothing seems to have changed. But what have they offered us? They've offered us absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. There is not one thing I can think that we can reflect back on and say, well, wasn't it good that we were part of the British Empire? There is nothing that contributed to our well-being. We were a self-governing country since 1901. Prior to that, we were a country full of racists and convicts. So what have they contributed? Well, if you can think of something, please let me know, because it has been nothing. So what is it that they will contribute to us now, given that we are answerable to this king, this potsy, bloody, friggin' aristocratic king? Nothing. And it offends me greatly that this particular man, who admittedly has an interest around climate change and all things ecological, good for him, but who is wearing a crown here from which the diamond or the emerald or whatever it is that sits on top was stolen from the African people and has not been returned. The pillaging that this particular country has done, that is the UK, over many hundreds of years, is shameful. The slavery they've indulged in, the raping and pillaging of countries such as India of all their wealth. It has been appalling. Yet somehow we're supposed to look to this dude so that we can claim recognition, our sense of identity. I cannot see how my identity is attached to him, the British Empire, any of the horrific. I don't want to be attached to any of the horrific things that the British Empire has done to this country and beyond. It is appalling. So I'm declaring that I'm not going to partake of anything which reflects and resembles this particular authoritarian leader. Now, we've got to accept here in Australia that the Governor-General, this clown's representative, is, a mouthpiece. He has no real significant power apart from ascending to legislation. That's it. That's all he does. And we did have an incident where our friend John Kerr decided that he was going to get rid of the Whitlam government in 1974, whenever it was. And that was the only time we've ever seen any impact of a Governor-General. But given that that was done at the behest of Malcolm Fraser at the time, because the Parliament was unable to pass the financial bill. So that's the only time that we've ever seen it. Apart from that, I have no recollection of when this man or his forefathers or mother participated in Australia in a reasonable way. Now, it seems to me that mainly it's about pomp and ceremony. Some people want to be stuck in this sense of tradition. We have a very short lifespan in terms of a country, and that we could start building our own transitions, our own sense of who we are, our own traditions, which are completely separate from, devoid of all the pageantry and all the other crap that we get from the British Empire. So it's about time we found a way to invest in ourselves to become the country that we want to be, the large multicultural country, the country that embraces our Indigenous past and our Indigenous people. That is the country we want to become. None of that has anything to do with this clown and his family. Nothing at all. They have, this thing they put on costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. And much of that money could have been used for homelessness people, for mental well-being issues, for dealing with a child protection system that doesn't work. It could be dealt in 1,000 different areas to raise people out of poverty. But no, these idiots, including those people that support him, would prefer to waste that money on a spectacle on which God thought it would be best to rain on yesterday. So I'm declaring that I'm not going to have anything to do with him, and I hope that many of you out there will support me in advocating for a free republic that is separate from and diverse of all the crap that comes with these particular people. And I'd like you to, if you want to, just please subscribe to my channel. It'd be nice to have your subscriptions up. And if you've got any comments and you want to let me know what you think, put a comment down below. And also, you can email me on that particular email address. So I just want to say, look, thanks everybody for being with me. Take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.